Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, guys.
What are you guys being so quiet? So, once again, Sean's not with us, but we got two special guests.
What?
You guys saw Christina at the Ghostbusters movie. This is my buddy Michael, a.k.a.
Mikey.
Magic Mike.
Magic Mikey.
Huh?
That'll be explained later. We are here today with a review of YuGiOh, The Dark Side of Dimensions.
Woo!
Alright, let's kick it off. What'd you guys think?
It was about as good as I expected it to be, a little bit better. It was really good. What about you guys? What'd you think?
I have somewhat of a confession to make.
What's that?
This is the second time I've seen this movie.
What?
I went and saw it yesterday. By myself. I was going to do a spoiler-free review, but I suffered some technical difficulties, so it didn't happen. I'm sorry.
Wow.
She looked shocked.
I'm betrayed right now.
Okay, if it makes you feel better, I didn't get to enjoy it because there was two bitches sitting right beside me that wouldn't stop talking through the whole movie.
No, it doesn't make it any better. You wouldn't seen it without me.
YuGiOh waits on no one.
I had work.
I'm sorry.
We were gonna see it together.
We did!
Okay, alright. But what did you guys think of the movie?
I thought it was awesome. I just have but the positives are definitely more than the negatives, but I have some really big questions I want answered.
I really only had 3 negatives to the movie, but one of them's a spoiler, so I'm not going to disclose it.
No, we're doing
This is a
spoilers,
spoiler
bro. Go
review.
for it.
My biggest negative is the final villain, the final form of him.
Yeah, that dude looks
Yeah.
dumb as fuck. Dude, I think my biggest problem is I want to know where the hell Obelisk came from.
Oh yeah, like how he was able to summon him?
Yeah, because he shouldn't have been able to.
You see, my theory was it was because in the anime, Kaiba was the very first one to actually use Obelisk as in...
I know Kaiba eventually developed his own cards and shit like that, so I'm thinking maybe that's where that came from. Like, he made another one, and because he was the original user, he didn't get punished, because we've seen fake god cards before, and they got punished
GX.
like a motherfucker.
Well, I have a theory, I just don't know if it's right.
Okay.
Well, I think maybe the reason why he was able to summon Obelisk was because if you think about it, Kaiba did have sort of a connection with the Pharaoh. He was his family. He was his cousin.
Well,
maybe he was able to summon Obelisk to at least protect him.
Well, it's the
Maybe.
cards went with Yami when he went into the
You
spirit
mean
world.
it's him?
Same difference, same guy. The cards went with him when he
Yeah,
left.
but their spirits might have been left behind in
I don't
some
know.
way, shape, or form.
This kind of retcons some stuff out of it, because GX, there's definitely now inconsistencies. Also, one of my bigger gripes is Bakura's dad. In the show, he bought the ring off a guy at a market in Egypt, not found it and killed Shoddy. He didn't do that.
Another...
Okay, so something I want to put in here. There is one thing that kind of just... I know he does it all the time, but I just got to point it out. Kaiba did a lot of sucking his own dick in this show.
Yeah, he did.
Like, hardcore, just sucking his own dick. Like, I am the greatest. And, it's kind of sad that he just kind of held on to this for all this time.
If you look up narcissistic in the dictionary, Kaiba's picture is next to it.
And Kaiba's picture would be throughout the whole book because he probably made it.
See, my one other thing that I question that I really want answered is how Shoddy actually, was dead when in the anime, he actually does appear in Pegasus's castle.
He wasn't. It was. He appeared before the final duel. He was a specter. who had the items. He was dead. He even said he was dead.
I didn't know.
Something also that struck me as odd. Okay, so me and Jared actually watched the final duel between Atem and Yugi this morning. And the Silent Swordsman and Silent Magician in that was in red. And then when they did the flashback, it was in blue. It was the right color.
It's the same color as the card. I don't know why that was different. I have no clue.
I'm not sure, but like if you watch the final duel, they're in red, and then they were the right color when they did the flashback just now.
I want to know what was up with the cyber cards. Like, that kind of seems like a cheat. Like, you could program your thing to just give you a card when you want it, especially if it's linked to your brain like it was supposed to be.
Oh, I think that was just Kaiba's way of like making it
More
sleek or more streamlined, because it was his actual deck. It's just it was integrated into a system.
Yugi's deck the part looked the same right here, but then it flipped open and actually had card slots.
This is Kaiba we're talking about.
Yeah.
Why is Kaiba gonna...
It just kind of feels like they retconned some stuff from GX out because the dual disc weren't and GX are not up to par with that.
I thought I thought it was kind of cool, even though he was the bad guy. I thought it was kind of cool, the dual disc that he had with the cubes.
I didn't like that one.
I thought it was kind of cool looking.
I have a problem with him because of how many times, like, I could literally count, not on both hands, mind you, how many times he repeated the same freaking line.
Not only that, he just kept...
I know.
He just kept summoning and changing and summoning and changing and doing the same thing.
They usually could have changed, like, the lines, because sometimes in, like, Japan and shit, the lines they say are not appropriate, so they just kind of have to stick something in there.
But on the positive sides, Kaiba actually did have a few really good insults to throw around.
And there were a few funny moments.
One of my favorites actually being, "You just hate dragons, don't you?"
I love that. You try to fight me with fruits?
I'm happy Mokuba got a haircut.
Oh, that was kind of cool to see him, like, see his hair different.
Mokuba was like, he's a small little business tycoon, that's for sure.
You know, one question with Yu-Gi-Oh! I always had, in the first episode, Kaiba's in their class, and that's how he finds out about the Blue Eyes White Dragon. But for the rest of the series, you don't see Kaiba at that school at all. And it was like, okay, yeah, he's probably not in school because he's a genius billionaire that owns his own company. Why would he be in school?
Why was he in school in the first place?
Like, why was he in school at that one point in time?
Probably trying to search for rare cards.
I guess.
She's not lying. That's probably what he was doing.
Like, literally, because he knew that there was another Blue Eyes White Dragon out there. He probably just went there to see if any of them might have heard of it or had it.
I think he's definitely to the point of making his own cards now or working with Pegasus, because there wouldn't have been all those Blue Eyes additional cards.
Yeah, because essentially, even in the original anime, it only stated there were 3 forms of Blue Eyes, or, well, 3 Blue Eyes to be specific.
Well,
and then ultimate.
There were 4 Blue Eyes. You're forgetting Yugi's grandpa.
I'm saying 3 because of what happened to Yugi's grandpa's card.
Very well, though, this villain follows the same line that a lot of villains in 2016 kind of followed, as, why doesn't my old person accept me and see my power?
Not really.
Not really.
Kinda.
No, he was a crybaby.
He was a crybaby, but
well, that's what I mean. Mostly, he's just like crying about making the world perfect.
Well, you see, he thought that he was following out Shadi's will by doing what he was doing, but in all actuality, he was doing the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was doing exactly what his master tried to teach him not to do, which was given to fear.
Yeah. Overall, it was
anger.
a really good movie, though. And I think this is going to bring fans back because there's people like me who, when they were on motorcycles, I was done.
Yep.
And so I missed like 3 different arcs of it, and I got back into it recently, but it's like a lot of people are just watch the first generation. That's all they want to watch. That's all they care about. And it seems like this could definitely bring people back.
So, what was everybody's gripes with it?
Obelisk. That's about it.
That's your only gripe?
Just a few more inconsistencies, but nothing big.
What about you?
Retarded lizard cube face thing.
Yeah. What about you, Christina?
Honestly, the only real gripe I have about it is just, I really want to know how he was able to summon Obelisk. I really want to know that, because like Jared said, when he left, the gods should have left with him.
Yeah,
Yep.
that shouldn't have been a thing.
I wish that would have been explained better, but other than that, to me, it was a really great movie. I mean, I had some gripes with the villain, but I mean, in what movie do you not really have some sort of gripe
At least
with
one or
a
two.
villain? I mean,
One of the biggest things I hated
That's
about him
about all.
was the way he dueled.
what about you, Trudy?
That was the biggest one for me, and the villain being super the villain being the way he was. That was like my biggest thing, and then the obelisk thing.
I think the obelisk thing, I'm just going to say it right now, based on GX, we know eventually Kaiba did make his own cards. So I think that's where that version of obelisk came from, and the gods didn't punish him because he was connected to the card. Because remember, Kaiba's the one that made all Jaden's Neos, Neospatians, all those.
Yeah,
Speaking of cards, Jared, why don't you pull out the cards so they can see what we got at the movie?
Also, I did just think of something.
Boom shakalaka. Got that obelisk the Tormentor. Now we know why we got this. You know, the movie pack doesn't make any sense. It gives you a Slifer the Sky Dragon. Slifer was not played in this at all.
Maybe it's just because of the flashback whenever Slifer appeared when the Pharaoh summoned him. Who knows?
I don't know.
I mean, but I did just think of something back to the whole him being able to summon obelisk thing. Didn't Pegasus remake the god cards? Because that one dude in GX
he was
had a
working on
problem.
them.
He just couldn't control them without that card.
He was working on it, but I think Jaden was the only one who could use it, like, properly.
Yeah, I think so. Well, Jaden never really summoned them.
He stole the card
He stole the card
from the
kinda.
dude's hand.
But my final literal only complaint was the dimension dueling.
Yeah.
Dude,
Because of you say that though, one of my biggest positives is this movie was so close to the actual rules. They had 8,000 life points. They dueled correctly. There was a few spots where somebody took a few extra turns. I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
But for the most part, the rules were definitely on par.
I don't know if I was the only one that noticed this, but there was also a point in the actual movie where Yugi sent his clear Karibo to the graveyard while drawing it, without ever actually looking to see what it was.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I think that's big. Well, no, I don't know if that's if you can actually pull him out of your deck and send him straight to the graveyard. I can't remember.
I have
I'd
one.
to-
I'll have to look
I'd
at
have to
it
look
though.
at the card.
Yeah, we have one at the house too. We can look at it too.
Yeah, but I mean, Jared is right. As far as trying to follow it, it tried to follow it a lot better than some
What we're used to
instances in, like a
seeing.
show and shit like that.
And not to mention, when you actually look at the cards, the ones that were on top of the deck and whatnot, it actually showed a listing of their effect, attack points, everything. Rather than like in the old ones where you see the picture and that's it. So you have to be an encyclopedia.
I was so excited to see Apple and Lemon Magician Girl. I was so super excited to see it.
The way he used them was flawless, actually.
Yes, and I was
Yeah,
so
that was
happy.
cool.
I was sitting there like jumping next to Christina. I'm like, yes.
I mean, that card's cool and all, but can we talk about that Chaos the Max Dragon?
Yeah,
That
same
shit was
here.
the bomb.
That was amazing. I'm not gonna lie.
I think my only other complaint was I didn't feel a Tim was necessary for.
Not at the end, but I have to say.
I mean, the way they did it, I don't have too big of a problem with because he was only there for like 10 seconds.
Okay, before you go on, I know that you didn't even want to see a Tim anyway.
Nope, no, I didn't.
You didn't want him in there.
Fist bump, bro. That was awesome.
I don't
Seeing him
care what
again
you
after
say.
all
He was
that.
good.
He swooped in completely silent, summoned Mahad, obliterated the final boss, and without a word just being said, just stood there afterwards.
He didn't have to say a word because Yugi already knew what he meant.
Well, like I said, that's why, like, the way they did it, I guess I don't have too big of a problem with. If he had to come back and dueled Kaiba, I would have bitched about it. Like, the whole duel was him and not Yugi, because that was the whole point of the final duel between him and Yugi, is to show Yugi was strong enough to stand on his own.
Yeah.
And that would be a bunch of character backtracking.
But it was so great to see that Yugi was, like, finally accepting.
He was
that
a little bad.
He was. And he was finally accepting. He's like, it's hard for me to accept, but he's gone.
Issuing a direct threat to Kaiba.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking nowhere.
And he even told him, he's like, yeah,
We got
I guess
problems.
it is that.
Let me do this or we got problems.
But I think my favorite part of that whole movie was actually getting to hear Yugi say, "I believe in the heart of the cards."
Yes.
And that brought back some memories.
I'm feeling there's a sequel because based on like the very end of the movie, Kaiba just like it looks like he's about to crash into the earth, but somehow he transferred. Oh, he had the cube. He
Yeah, he had the
transferred
cube.
dimensions, and Yami's afterlife is weird. It's like just desert and his palace.
Another thing about that as well, it looked like Kaiba was slowly disintegrating as well.
Yeah.
That black stuff coming off of him.
Well,
He was wearing that full suit, though, that would look like it was kind of infused on his body.
I think that may just be how the dimension looked. 'Cause
Yeah.
they, like, even the little yellow glowy-eyed kids kind of looked like that.
Oh, fair enough.
Or it might have been like, like Michael said, where because he traveled dimensions, he could have been slowly disintegrating, but he has enough time to stay in there with the suit. The suit was keeping him intact.
I wanted to see more dueling in this. Like, I'm definitely happy with the duels we got, but I would have much rather cared to have seen Joey duel or
See,
somebody,
I actually,
not just Yugi and Kaiba.
I actually am the opposite. I think they put just enough duels to make it. Because I feel like if they would have tried to push more duels in here, they would have put a lot of filler in, and then we would have added an extra 30 minutes that we didn't need.
Yeah.
They would have put bunch filler at the beginning.
Well, I mean, maybe it's just, it would have been cool to see how much Joey's grown along with Yugi and everyone else.
I can't.
Because we didn't really get to, we got to see his deck, his red eyes, but as far as anything else, we didn't.
We haven't seen him add anything to his. We didn't get to see what he added to his deck or.
We don't really know what's going on with Joey, but it was still. What we got was enough for me, honestly. I mean, at least it was a better. It was better.
They
than
did it justice.
What we got when they actually ended the first season.
Yeah.
But they definitely did it justice.
That left more questions than any sort of answers to me, anyway.
Now I can concur with that. I would have loved to have seen more dueling, but I also have to give them credit where credit's due. In between the duels, the storytelling to build up the climax of the final duels was flawless in my eyes.
Yeah, it really did do. It really did do everything that we were expecting it to do, and it even delivered a little bit more.
I enjoyed it more the second time around because I wasn't sitting next to two loudmouth bitches.
So does that mean you got 2 obelisks right now?
No, not at all.
I know you do.
Yes, he did.
You do. So you know what? You're gonna switch one of mine out since you bent mine.
I didn't bend yours. You put it in my pocket.
No, I asked
That's
you to
your
put
fault.
it. I asked you to put it away.
Fine.
Should have just done like Michael did, put it in your phone case.
My phone case was in my pocket.
But
No, I meant Jared.
No.
Well, I think that's about everything. Is there anything anybody else wants to touch on?
overall, if you guys had to scale it from 1 to 10, what would you scale it?
Anime movie wise, I'd say a 10. Like, just going to the movies, I'd say about an 8. Like, there's other movies I would like to see too, but like it's definitely on the high scale.
As far as a YuGiOh movie, I have to give that a 10. It is better than a lot of them that I have seen. But as far as
Bonds me
just
on time.
as far as a movie just to go to a movie theater and watch again, as he said, there are more to go watch.
Resident Evil.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
smart.
happy with what Jared said. I think that's
I actually agree with
fair.
both of you.
Woo! Called it. It's because I'm awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that about wraps it up, guys. So we will see you here next time.
Jared.
And please like and subscribe. And what am I doing? Why do I have the puzzle?
Show it to him.
Christina has the Millennium Puzzle, and I have this nifty little Millennium ring right
here.
here.
Of the movie.
Yep.
Celebration of the movie.
All right, guys. We will see you next time. Later.
Bye.
Later.
Bye.